Oh, we're heading to the future with robots turned lawyers.
Yes. Dina met up with Del Rio and Caraway on today's Sidebar.
Good morning. It is time for our Sidebar segment with Del Rio and Caraway. We're here with Dan and Chuck this morning talking about two pretty popular topics. And one is something that is kind of mind-blowing. We're talking about an AI robot, first of its kind in the country to be used in a court case. We're worried our jobs are going to get taken by robots. Now I'm worried about you guys.
So this brings up a slew of issues.
Yeah.
And so what it is there's a company that's created an AI bot that's going to ostensibly practice law. And so what it's going to do is going to go into traffic court, which is a kind of criminal court, and the person is going to represent themselves, and there's going to be a cell phone that's going to listen to all of the argument, and they're going to have an earpiece, and they're only going to say what the AI bot tells them to say.
Okay.
So the issue with this is that it's against the law for a person or for a person to practice the unauthorized practice of law. Mm-hmm. Okay, the only time that you can get around this is there's special little caveats for like administrative law, immigration law, things like that, or if you're self-representing. Mm-hmm. So in this case, even if the person is in there and they're self-representing, they have a direct line to this artificial intelligence that's telling them what to do, which really is practicing law. So I'm not sure how they're getting around that, but they're not really allowed to do that.
Oh, okay. So will we see more of this? I mean, it seems like there's got to be a lot of issues.
So one thing that can be done is if you're a lawyer, you can absolutely use, and it already is being implemented for various procedures, use artificial intelligence as a search engine. Mm-hmm. And then when the things come up, you as the attorney, you look at this, you pair it against other citations, things like that, make sure that the case law is good, and then you yourself make the argument.
Okay.
So if you're doing that, it's okay. But if you're allowing the AI bot to practice law for you, I don't see how it's possible, how it's legal.
Okay, well, there is a lot to be said about what is coming down the pipeline for that one. Okay, and then also another issue with Tesla's self-driving feature. There was a big multi-car accident in California, and allegedly the self-driving feature was fully ignited when this happened.
Yeah, Tesla seems to have a bunch of these going right now. Ever since the summer when NHTSA announced its big investigation into the fully self-driving feature, they had over 700 reports of this phantom braking, where a car is going down the bridge, all of a sudden completely just brakes to a stop on the bridge. There's nowhere to go. There's traffic all the way around. I think it's an 8-car pileup right into it.
Okay, so what can happen now to the person who claims this feature is being used?
So obviously this is going to be a big investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, this literally could be the proof of what NHTSA's been looking for. I mean, you have the whole thing on video, obviously looking at the self-driving feature to make sure it was fully engaged at the time. The problem is, again, there's always two sides of liability on here. One, something went wrong with the self-driving feature if it was engaged. But on the other hand, all the self-driving feature says you have to keep engaged as the driver. Hands on the wheel, alert and oriented. You're still ultimately responsible for what occurs here. And so this comes on the heels of Elon's recent tweet where he seems to advocate that he wants to get rid of that little nagging feature as a safety feature also that says, hey, keep your hands on the wheel. So NHTSA's kind of upset about that at the same time.
Well, it seems this one's a little challenging because if it's phantom braking, even if you're prepared and hands are on the wheel, if all of a sudden the car stops, I can't see how you can do much as a driver.
Yeah, what can you do? Gas and brake at the same time?
Right.
I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Well, clearly, this is why we have you two to help us break down the important law stories that are going around right now. Thank you so much, both of you. Again, Del Rio and Caraway, that is your Sidebar segment for this morning. Back over to you guys.